up Friday, but neither his face nor new hair was featured. Whoops, the 22-year-old pop star wrote in the post caption before adding the hashtag Little Prince's Trust. The reference may be to the UK-based charity of the same name, which creates wigs from donated hair to children in need. Since the post, One Direction fans all over the world have posted mixed reactions ranging from shock to pride. On Twitter, the hashtag RIP Harry's hair is trending as number one with over 226,000 tweets in the United States. Styles has yet to debut his new look on social media, but may soon do so after pleas from millions of fans. Prince's family says no official funeral has been held for the late music icon, despite reports claiming one has. His family said in a statement to People magazine Friday, "We would like everyone to know that contrary to previous and current reports, there has been no memorial, funeral, or tribute services for Prince that was organized or authorized by his family and Paisley Park representatives." They also added together the family is planning an official memorial service and public event to take place in the near future. Prince died on April 21st at his home in suburban Minneapolis. He was 57. The investigation into his death and toxicology results have yet to be completed. In recent days, news media have cited sources close to the singer and reported that Prince appears to have suffered from an acute dependence of opiate painkillers. The artist's publicist told the media Prince's friends and fellow musicians attended a private memorial service at his home 2 days after his death. His body was cremated and his cremains will remain private, his representative said. Idina Menzel shared on social media a video of her singing with her former Wicked co-star Kristen Chenoweth for the first time in more than a decade. Menzel said in a Facebook message that accompanied a clip of the pair performing For Good, a moving ballad from the magical musical, "Sang with my girl Kristen Chenoweth for the first time in 12 years to honor Wicked," the musical producer David Stone at the Second Stage Theater Gala. Very emotional. Hope you guys like it. The performance has been viewed more than 6 million times since it was posted online Friday. Menzel and Chenoweth originated the roles of which Elphaba and Glinda in the Broadway production of Wicked, a reimagining of The Wizard of Oz, which opened in 2003. Steven Tyler, on a limb, the music icon's 19-city North American solo tour will begin on July 2nd in Las Vegas. Set to run through mid-September, the show brings the legendary frontman to a series of intimate venues for a once-in-a-lifetime evening with rock royalty, a Live Nation press release says. It also added, backed by his Nashville-based band Loving Mary, the Grammy Award-winning Tyler gets up close and personal like never before as he shares his real-life heartaches, trials, and tribulations. In a time-traveling musical journey that spans his career, the industry icon does not hold back as he recounts in-depth stories of his life, from his musical ancestors in Calabria, Italy, all the way to Route 440 in Nashville's country music. Tyler is best known as the lead singer of the band Aerosmith. The superhero ensemble picture Marvel's Captain America Civil War is the number one movie in North America, earning $182 million in receipts during its opening weekend, BoxOfficeMojo.com announced. The movie sees the title character, played by Chris Evans, butting head with Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., over ideological differences. Coming in at number 2 for the Mother's Day weekend is The Jungle Book with $21.9 million, followed by Mother's Day at number 3 with $9 million, The Huntsman and the Winter's War at number 4 with $3.6 million, and Keanu number 5 with $3.1 million. Rounding out the top tier are Barbershop The Next Cut at number 6 with $2.7 million, Zootopia at number 7 with $2.68 million, The Boss at number 8 with $1.8 million, Ratchet and Clank at number 9 with $1.5 million, and Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice at number 10 with $1 million. USA Today said that Civil War has become the 5th biggest opening in film history, following Marvel's Avengers of Age of Ultron with $191.3 million, The Marvel's The Avengers with $207.4 million, Jurassic World with $208.8 million, and Star Wars The Force Awakens with $248 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1964, an unlikely challenger ends the Beatles' reign atop the U.S. pop charts. Following the ascension of I Wanna Hold Your Hand to number 1 in early February, the Beatles held the top spot on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for 3.5 solid months, longer than any popular artist before or since. Over the course of those months, the Fab Four earned 3 consecutive number 1 singles, a record. They held all 5 spots in the top 5 in early April, a record, and had a total of 14 songs in the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts in mid-April, yet another record. But just when it seemed that no homegrown act would ever stand up to the British invaders, one of least likely American stars imaginable proved himself equal to the task. On this day in 1964, the great Louis Armstrong broke the Beatles' stranglehold on the U.S. pop charts with the number 1 hit, Hello Dolly. In a way, it was entirely appropriate that a titan such as Louis Armstrong would be the artist to end the reign of the first foreign group ever to take over the American pop scene. It can bear argue, after all, that Armstrong bears more responsible for shaping the course of 20th century American music than Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra combined. Louis Armstrong became one of jazz music's first individual superstars as a young trumpet player in the 1920s and 30s, but more than that, he revolutionized jazz itself by turning it into an individual improvisational art form. The recordings Armstrong made with his Hot 5 and Hot 7 combos between 1925 and 1927 are widely credited with creating much of the foundation for the future of jazz and blues performance, and by extension of rock and roll. Armstrong's own statement that if it hadn't been for jazz there wouldn't be no rock and roll was effective, endorsed by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which inducted Armstrong as an early influence in 1990. Of course, it wasn't Louis Armstrong, the young revolutionary, but Louis Armstrong, the late career light entertainer who knocked the Beatles from the top of the pops charts. By the early 1960s, Armstrong's most influential and important work was already behind him, yet his famous charisma and illuminated personality was still enough to lift a show tune like Hello Dolly to the number 1 spot on the pop charts and over the Beatles on this date in 1964. Also on this date in 1971, The Last Honeymooners episode airs. The last episode of the sitcom The Honeymooners, starring Jackie Gleason as Brooklyn bus driver Ralph Cramden, airs. Although a perennial rerun favorite in syndication, The Honeymooners actually aired only 39 episodes in its familiar sitcom format, running for just 1 season in 1955 and 1956. The show debuted on October 5, 1951, as a 6-minute sketch on the variety show Cavalcade of Stars, hosted by Jackie Gleason. Cavalcade of Stars evolved into the Jackie Gleason Show in 1952, and Gleason continued the sketches, playing the blustery Ralph Cramden. Regular cast members Audrey Meadows will soon replace the original casting choice, Perk Kelton, as Ralph's long-suffering wife Alice, who deflated his get-rich-quick schemes but often saves the day. Art Carney played Gleason's friend and sidekick Ed Norton from the beginning, and Joyce Randolph was the most memorable incarnation of Ed's wife, Trixie. In 1955, Gleason had tired of the hour-long variety show format and wanted to try something new. He suggested creating 2 half-hour programs, The Honeymooners and Stage Show, a musical variety show which Gleason would produce. Among Stage Show's many musical guests was the first-time TV performer Elvis Presley, who visited the show in January 1956. In a departure from most TV shows of the time, The Honeymooners was filmed in front of a live audience and broadcast at a later date. To allow Gleason more time to pursue other producing projects, he taped 2 episodes a week, leaving him free for several months at the end of the season. Shows were taped at New Year's at Daffy Theater in front of around 1,000 people. Unfortunately, the 2 shows did not appeal to audiences as much as Gleason had hoped. He soon returned to his hour-long variety format, occasionally including Honeymooners skits. He sold the full Honeymooners episodes to CBS for $1.5 million. They would go on to earn the network a windfall in syndication. In 1966, Gleason began creating hour-long Honeymooner episodes in which he aired a loot of his usual variety format. From 1966 to 1970, about half of Gleason's shows were these hour-long episodes. In 1971, the episodes were rebroadcast as their own series until May 9, 1971, when the final episode aired. Despite its brief life as a traditional sitcom, The Honeymooners remain one of the most memorable TV comedies of all time, rivaled only by I Love Lucy in its pioneering role in television history. Its influence has stretched into modern-day sitcom classics such as Roseanne, a show about focusing on a working-class American family, and Seinfeld, another sitcom about wacky New York neighbors. The devotion of the Honeymooners fans throughout the years have bordered on cultish worship, including the formation of a club known as RALPH, Royal Association for the Longevity and Preservation of the honeymooners. And as your entertainment report for Monday, May 9th, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and I'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.